we'll just dive into today's training. So today, basically, we're going to be learning a mix of how to create using Poster My Wall, a poster, or I would say like a virtual background, but not a virtual image background. It's going to sort of be like a virtual video background, and how to actually put it on Zoom as well. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, and thank you for those who have presented. Let me share my screen and then we kick off. Let me know once you can see my screen. Do you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So as usual, the Poster My Wall link. So first, the recommendation is understand the ask. So if someone asks, please, I need you to do a poster and do it in XYZ way. Pretty much the first ask is, what is the program? What is the theme? What is the day or the days? And pretty much understand everything about the program. Do you have a picture of the speaker? And it's usually good to ask those kinds of questions. You might or might not get everything you want. An example would be, do you have a picture of the poster of the preacher or the person who's going to be there? And they say, oh no, I don't have a picture. You can leave out the picture, and that's fine. You know, that means the person doesn't really like his pictures in posters. So you can feel free to do that, to just put something random. So pretty much this is how our church poster looks like here. Our church Poster My Wall looks like here. So basically, now we have a program that is coming up, Midnight Cry. The question that was asked was, okay, what days are they? We're told, okay, it's going to be the midnight of this day to this day. Now there needs to be further clarification, because one thing is you're hearing the midnight of Sunday or the midnight of Thursday, but you're thinking, oh, Thursday night or Friday morning. Meanwhile, the person might have meant early in the morning on Thursday, or the reverse. You know, you get what I mean. So pretty much it's important for us to know everything about that particular event so that there won't be a lot of back and forth. So I'll just start basically with how to sort of create a poster. The easiest way is to use templates. So I usually just go to the topmost left where it says Poster My Wall. And once you go there, wherever you are in Poster My Wall, it brings you back to this page. So if you have gone off tangent and you're looking to come back to this homepage, once you click on the topmost left, the Poster My Wall, it brings you back to this page. Now you might ask, what is this page? This page is very similar to what I will call your homepage, your gallery. So every poster that you have ever created or you have ever developed is all here. It's not lost to file, you save it after you have used it. Your profile is here. So if you want to use, like me, I have my own profile on Poster My Wall. So pretty much if I want to know which profile I'm in, I check it. And why it's good to check it and ensure that you're in the right profile is that you might find yourself saving things that are personal in the non-personal profile, or saving things that are non-personal in the personal folder. Meanwhile, you actually would have preferred it to be in the non-personal. And an example is, last week we were told, oh, there's going to be a program. It's called Midnight Cry, and these are the days. These are the details of the event. I created the folder. I tried my hands on it, did a rough draft, but I did it in my personal profile. Not until I was about sending it did I realize, oh my goodness, this is my personal profile. So anybody in media who needs to update it will not have access to it. So I came into the Chapel of Praise profile to recreate it. Luckily for me, the turnaround to do that wasn't long because I actually started it off with a template. However, it would have been longer if you had actually started the poster off from scratch, as in you're the one building the poster, you have it in your mind, what pictures you're looking for, maybe the picture of a church or the picture of any building, then you put these details and you put different time zones. When you have something like that, especially for those who have artistic minds, it's quite different and you need more time to plan it than if you're someone like me that Well, the template has really been done and it's a paid version, so I can actually piggyback from something that has already been created and just add some spice to it to make it to my taste. Now, there are some instances where you could also share with somebody. So it's very similar to Canva. For those of us that are familiar with Canva, you have already created it. Like the example I gave that I had already put in my profile. If I had actually shared with church, there would have been a way, once I just click the shared with me, I will be able to see all the posters that have been shared with me. So it wouldn't really be all lost. That's another way to send files back and forth profiles. And then, of course, the trash, the email campaigns and all of that. So you can actually send email campaigns from Poster My Wall. But for today's, what we're going to be looking at is creating a poster. And so I'll go right on to it. What I'm thinking of is a Zoom virtual background first. So when I go to Zoom virtual background, I type it in here, Zoom virtual background, and I click search. What that does is that it brings up all the virtual backgrounds that Poster My Wall has. Poster My Wall, in my opinion, is pretty much different people bringing in their designs, and this is the repository for it. So it's a way where you can come in here, put your design, save it also, and all the people could have access to it if you want. So these are pretty much really cool Zoom virtual backgrounds that you could choose from. So many times when you hear of virtual background, you're hearing of, oh, it's an image, it's JPEG, a PNG, and all of that. But look at the Nigerian fact. So many times you really don't hear of, oh, the virtual background for this program is this video. So I thought of it and I was like, how cool would it be if you actually had a virtual background? And then this caught my eyes. This one. So this caught my eyes and this caught my eyes. So I want each and every one of us to go to Poster My Wall as we are on here right now. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. So that we're all doing it together. So you can pick this one. I decided to pick this one. I really like this one, but I already have one of this. So I'll go out of it and then I will choose this one. So I'll just wait a little while for everybody to go into theirs and choose one that they like. Another cool thing about it is it shows you who designed what. So this was by Queen Design. Then you can customize the template by clicking on the blue bar that says customize template. Underneath, it gives you the sizing, which is 1920 by 1080. Sometimes the sizing is overstretched, but 1920 by 1080 pretty much works with Zoom. I think that's 16 inch by 9. I think that's pretty much the size, the very good size for a Zoom background. So I click on customize template, and then it opens up like this, and it shows me the video. Now I want to design. When I click on customize template, different things show up. I'm no longer in my home page. I'm now pretty much in a page that has different sections, and I'm going to go through the sections. Now on the left-hand side, it gives me photo. That means I can import a photo that I want, that I prefer. And over here, when you click on the photo, you can either bring something that you like, or you can add from the stock photos. They have hundreds of thousands in Poster My Wall that you can pick from. You can add from Facebook, isn't that cool? Or even from your Google Drive or from your Dropbox. So let's assume I had a photo here and I click on photo, but now I actually just want to bring in maybe the redeemed logo. So these are all the photos that I have already had in my gallery. But if I actually just had the photo, maybe I had just downloaded it. What do? I click on upload, the plus here, the topmost left. I click on upload photos, and it gives me the opportunity to add the photo. Then it opens up my drive. So I pick whichever drive I actually want to pick from. Maybe the drive I actually saved my file. and then I look for it. So I can say RCCG, or I can actually even just say logo and see if anything comes up. So I'm just going to pick one file, one picture that I might already have. I will pick the RCCG, the RCCG logo. So you double click on it, or you just click and say, okay. So this is an RCCG logo. When you click on it, on that picture, it automatically brings it in here. The other option will be once it gets here, you click on it once, and then at the bottom right, you see add photo and it adds it. So those are two different ways you could do that. Another way you could have added to photos is what I just did, which is at the top right, which says upload photos, and then you click on it and it adds and it takes you to the same drive. So for the purpose of this, this is a picture. This is one I want to add here. Doesn't really have a good contrast with what I have to do here. Most of what I have is in this frame. So I just wanted to have a blend. So I'll show you how we can have a blend or a soft touch to it. So the edges are too sharp. So on the right-hand side, you have what you call the edge effects. So you come here, right now there is none, but I just want an edge effect. So rectangle edge effect will give me this, which sort of slowly blends it into my profile. It's not too sharp like you saw it before. All right, now back to still my left. You can also bring in elements that you have. You can add shapes. You can add, different elements that they have here. You can search, and then it gives you the elements that you want. I can search for frame, and then once I click enter, it gives me everything that looks like a picture frame or frame that I could actually use, designed frame. So there are different elements in here, and there are loads and loads of them. Now there is already text in this template, but I could actually also add a text in there. So I just click on text and I can add a plain text, or I can add a fancy text. Adding a fancy text means that it's already it's not like a regular, what would I call it? A regular font that you see. It sort of has already been designed that way. So you can pick any of these depending on what you want. So if I pick stained, for example, I can tell it what I want it to write in that stained font. So I can say COPTV, for example. Now you also have the option, do you want it to be curved? Do you want it to bend? Do you want it to be wavy? So depending on what you choose, this is what it looks like. So you can sort of play around with what you want, and then it will do what you want. So I'll just leave it as wavy, and then I'll add it. What it does now is that it brings it here. So I can put that here. So you see COPTV is right there. Next also, so that's it for text. Next also you have the media. So this is pretty much where you can bring in videos, audios. Like if you have a music that you want to be playing at the background, remember this is a video, so you can have music at the background, or you can even add a video. For example, there are some times when you have a video that you just prefer it to sort of be at the background. We've not had any videos up yet here, but I could click on upload video and I could search for a video that is in my profile, that is in my drive. So with that done, I could sort of go here and do that and see if there is anything that I could actually pick that will be nice for me to use. So I can pick a video from here, or I can go to any of my intro or outro videos, which could be any of these. So let's pick this one. It's uploading it. It's usually pretty fast, and so the upload should be done pretty soon. Now the audio is done. And pretty much it's showing the way it sounded here. So I can pause it. That's how I pause it. And I can put my video anywhere in here that I want. So I can move that around. Pretty much moving a video just means you click on it once and you can drag it with your cursor or the mouse that you have. All right. So if I want that to play, you can pretty much sort of have an idea of, can you see my video? At the top right, it's playing as well. So your video sort of can be playing while your main poster is playing or your main video is playing if you need it there. Then there's also the layout. How do you want your video to be? Do you want to add a schedule? Do you want to add a table? Do you want, there are different options here. And then lastly, background. Do you want the background sort of to be a plain background, gradient background, or you just want to upload your own background? For the purpose of this one, I think I really like the way the background is, so I'm not going to touch it. Now, that's it for the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, pretty much helps with how you can edit and position. And those are the two tabs here. This is the edit tab, and this is the position tab. And just like the name say, if you want to edit, it is basically changing some things that are inside these places already. If you want to work on the positioning, it's pretty much like you want to flip something backwards, you want to change the position of something, you want to change the coloring, coloring is editing. If you want to change some other things, pretty much like where the position is, do I want it to be on the left, or do I want it to be on the right, or do I want it to be at the top? Pretty much positioning is where you do it. Positioning could also be whether you want it to be at the back or in front. Another way to get some of these features in positioning from, instead of doing this, you could just right click and you will be able to see some of the positioning and the edits as well. So these are the ones that are commonly used. So you just right click and you can either send back, send forward, and all of that as well. Do we have any questions so far? Okay, in the absence of any questions, then you also, under the edit, you also have some effects and all of that. So this is pretty much where you can add, effects to your words or to your picture, depending on where you want to add the effects to, put in borders, filters, tints, make it brighter. This is pretty much making it brighter or making it darker. So this is the darkest it really can go. Then if I really want it to be bright, I can have it like this. So I just want you to play around with your image and just bring in some of the elements that you have seen here. You'll be showing us in a moment what your elements look like. While we do that, on the topmost right, or I'll say the blue bar, from the left to the right, the left where you have the post on my wall pretty much takes you back to your home page. I usually will not recommend that you click on that until you have saved, because you might lose everything. So click on save, but post on my wall usually has a good way of ensuring that you save something. So it will ask you, do you want to leave this page? So I always recommend that you click on save. So you have saved it and your document is now in your home page. So anytime you come into post on my wall, it will be there saved already. The next is collaborate, and this pretty much when you already have people in your team that you can invite to edit this particular design. So when you click on that, it will just ask you for their email addresses, and then just like we did for the Animaker, you can put in the email addresses of the people in your team and send it to them, or you could actually just send them the link to this. So pretty much this is the link to it. To copy, you just click on the copy sign, and then it is copied. So what I will do is I will just send each of you, I just copy the link. So I'll just send each of you that, and then you have the link to edit this. That has been sent. So apart from that, you can also publish. There are different ways you can publish it. You can publish it to Facebook, YouTube, and the different likes, and then you can also download. Pretty much when you download it, it saves it to your drive on your computer, on your local computer. It will ask you, where do you want to download it? Then you say, do you want to download the HD or you want to download a basic video? The basic video will have watermark. The HD video, you will be using 3 credits. For the purpose of this, because you all just downloaded, opened it, you all have the free account. We have a paid account in Chapel of Praise. So Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then if you want to undo something, very similar. I know when Paula was mentioning and she was talking about Animaker, or was it Charles? I think it was Charles. It was like he kept mistakenly deleting stuff, and at the end of the day, he had to redo it. Animaker, for post on my wall, if you mistakenly delete something and you want to go back to it, it pretty much uses the Microsoft shortcuts, which is Control Z, Control X for cut, Control Y for redo, and all of that. But on the top left, you also have that opportunity to undo, which is this arrow going back, and redo, which is this arrow going forward. Okay, so this is pretty much it. Any questions? Okay, so I'll stop sharing now, and then you all can show what you have by sharing your screen, which one you chose, which poster you chose, and which one you pretty much which one you chose and what you added and how you added it. So I will be stopping the share now, and then you can go ahead.
Okay, I did audio instead of video for this one.
Okay.
But this is basically I chose this thing, so I just kind of went with the.
This is cute.
And then I did the whole filter for this because obviously it's in black and white. This is it with logo.
Yeah.
It's in black and white. And then I removed the background from this because originally it was there was a white background on this, so I removed the background.
Did you tell the class how you remove the background?
It's this button here. It just says remove background.
Okay.
I can do it from the original picture. Is that fine?
Sorry, speak a little louder. Is it me?
Should I bring in another picture and do it, or is this fine?
No, this is really nice. I like it.
And then I did the fancy text with the kids' church. Then I did the sunny days audio. So yeah, that's all I've done.
No, that's cute. I'm saved. That is good. Okay, that's good. All right, let me do the virtual clap. Next, Charles, over to you. You're next in line.
All right. So I started with this like this template, and I was just importing photos. So this and my photos is like the one uploaded to this account. I just picked this and added photo. I was resizing it around, and I can also add text. So I just fancy this. So I just put announcements. Then I can use multiple colors there. I noticed. Can use something like with red to match the what's it called? Match the theme. So red, I'll probably use a brighter red or something like that, and maybe use something more darker. That doesn't look good, but I could use different colors and all that. So add the text. I can put at the bottom here. Then yeah, you also mentioned about adding audio. I don't really have audio files or video file. I do have a video file. Okay, I can upload. Use this. Or I can upload my video. Yeah, so you can pause it from there. I think to play the whole thing. Yeah, everything's playing together right now. So we can just reduce this. Put up to corner. Yeah. Just something simple. You can put someone's name here. We can also put other like other things here, like even shapes, all that. I'm just playing better on there. Well, I didn't really do much because my younger brother was calling me, so sorry about that.
Okay, that's good. Great job, guys. At least it shows that you all were listening. So next, pretty much what I'm going to show you now is how to put these videos on your virtual background. So let me know if you see this pop up.
Yes, you can.
With me in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pretty much where I want to get to, where you now click on add. Sorry, you go through the mirror, the arrow beside your mirror, like you want to add a virtual background, pretty much. Then it brings you here, which is the background and filters, which is basically from your home page while you are in this Zoom meeting, the arrow beside the stop video, and then it should default to this place. If it doesn't default to this in particular, just look to the left and click on background and filters. Then click on the plus sign and then add video. You remember mine is a video, but I had not yet downloaded it. So what I will do is I'll first go out of here and then click on a download. I had actually downloaded one already before the class, so we could actually pick that one that I had downloaded. So give me 1 second. So here is pretty much where you can download. For this, I can decide, oh, okay, I want it to be the HD video, and it costs 3 credits. So I can pay the 3 credits, it will take it from the account, and then I can download it. Or I can just pick the basic video, which sort of has watermark. So for the purpose of this training, I'll just pick the basic video, which has watermark. And once it downloads, once it finishes downloading, you will see it at the bottom. And for some computers, for some newer computers, you'll see it at the top right. So it tells me download is done, and this is my download, the copy of Breaking News Zoom virtual background. So I'm just going to pick it there. Remember, this is how I go. Zoom virtual background, add video, and then I'm going to where it's saved, which is this one. I'm just going to look at the timing. So this is later than this one. So this was just before the training started. So I'm going to pick this one and say open. Once I click that, it's going to bring it automatically here. Do you see how it's showing behind me? Now, when I take that and I close, stop sharing, that's what you see right now. Do you see behind me? So throughout, though it's like a 21-second video, you know, when I was downloading, it said just the first 21 seconds will be downloaded. It will continue to play, as in roll, till we finish the meeting. So it's actually like as if I'm in a real, you know, newsroom and all of that. The one I had actually downloaded prior to now was this one, which initially I said I really liked. So this was it. So it's pretty much you're talking about things at the back end, like you're in a newsroom and all of that. You have the breaking news live up there. At the bottom left is the COP TV. So you can pretty much play around with this, and you can record yourself and use it for announcements, use it for different things that you might want to use it for. So I'll just give you all time to download your videos, choose it as a virtual background, and then show us what your virtual background looks like when you turn on your cameras. Sorry to put you all on the spot. Hopefully it's not a bad headache. Put it as your virtual background. Let it play on. If it's an image, you can have it right there. One thing I forgot to mention is, I think I did though, your virtual background should be in the 1920 1080 dimension, which is the 16:9. That way it takes your full screen. If you don't make it that size and you make it smaller, it's going to have the black bars beside it. And you won't want black bars beside it because it's just sort of shows that it's an image that is not pretty much real. So try to always make sure that the sizing is the same sizing as the Zoom. And the good thing about it is for Poster My Wall, you can actually, when you're working on any posters at all, you can actually decide what size you want it to be. So while you guys are still doing that, I'm just going to quickly show you, because I think I forgot that while I was taking you through it. So on the blue bar at the top, when I said left to right, I didn't actually go through the resize. So this is what the template is. So I can click on here, the top, resize, and it tells me the different sizes. So let's assume, well, I'm a novice and I don't know what size Zoom backgrounds are. I don't know that it's supposed to be 16 by 9. So I'll just type in Zoom. All I know is that I want it to be on Zoom. So if it was Canva, you would have been able to see the Zoom here, but it doesn't have it on Canva. So for Poster My Wall, you would actually have to select the sizing that you want. I'm surprised Zoom didn't come up. Zoom and YouTube have the same sizing, so we can just pick the YouTube thumbnail, which is here, which is the, yeah, 1080, 1920, 1920, 1080. But I'm just going to do a scroll down. Being surprised that they still don't have Zoom there as an option, so that's okay. So we have picked the YouTube thumbnail, and then I can say resize. Once I click on resize, it changes the size of it. It was pretty much okay, so I think I'm good with this size. I don't have to re-download it. But pretty much that is it, and that's how to resize. So if you have a poster and you want to actually make your poster on Instagram, on Facebook, or on the likes, you can actually then click Instagram because they do not have the same dimensions. You can see the Instagram post at 1080 by 1080 and the story is 1080 by 1920. So Zoom is different, YouTube is different, Facebook is different. So it's important for you to ensure that you're using the right sizing for the poster that you are creating. Preferably, if you're doing it for church or you're doing it for an organization, do it in the different sizing of the different platforms that the organization has. That way they know which poster to use for what. Let me see if I missed out any other thing. I think that is it. Pretty much, yeah, that's it. If you want something like this, but rather than copying, right-clicking, copying and pasting, there are different shortcuts. The shortcuts to duplicate is Control-D. I'm not sure what it is for those who use Mac, but I guess it might be Command-D. So if you do this and you press Control-D, it helps duplicate that, that word, which was the alert. Okay. You can copy with Control-C, then Control-V, you paste, stuff like that. And that's basically it. All right, who's ready?
Sorry, dear. I'm downloading the video virtual background package.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, it's working now. I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, it's working. Yeah. So this is good. I actually foresee even when you guys are doing like announcements or the person who is in charge of announcements in youth church, even before you actually bring up the pre-recorded video, you could have something like this. Or Paula, what do you think?
I think that's a good idea, actually.
I think so too.
I'm still trying to download the video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is nice. It looks professional and everything is working together. Well done. This is good.
Thank you, ma.
Okay. So pretty much this is what we want to learn today. If you look at my screen, you will notice that on the extreme left, there's some little space, a white space. That's because I did not change the sizing to YouTube thumbnail, the Zoom sizing before I downloaded it. So these are little things that you might notice when you don't use the right sizing. Like if you use an Instagram sizing for a YouTube thumbnail, the two left sides will have black borders, which you don't want to have. So it's always encouraged, it's always recommended that you make sure that your sizing is right. Even if it's going to be a poster and it's going to be sent on WhatsApp, that's fine, you know. So, but these are things that you really need to be sure about, you know, and check off the questions that you check off when you're creating a poster or you're creating a virtual background. All right, we're on the hour, so we should be finishing right about now. That was the learning for today. What I'm going to do is just quickly show us while we wait for Paula. Paula, you can stop me anytime your download finishes. I'll just buy some time on basically showing you. So here, you sort of see under here, the title. Excuse me. So you're able to sort of change the title of your design, just like you would have been able to do with like video and the like. So you can change your titling, breaking news, Zoom virtual background, or a breaking news, Zoom virtual white and red, whatever you want to change it to that will make you remember what it is. You can just change it there. So anytime you actually download, it will download to that title that you have. If it's something that you want to remember, you just bring in your description here, breaking news. Zoom. You know, something like that. And then it helps you know what all of that is. And pretty much even from here, you can resize and then you're good to go. For posters, basically, you go back to the home page. When you go back to the home page, because I had saved some things here, but I had changed some things here, but I hadn't saved. See how when I clicked to go back to the home page by clicking on the topmost left, it gave me a pop-up saying leave site. So I don't want to leave the site without saving. So I click on cancel and then I click on save. Always click on save so that you have the most updated version of what you have done. If you don't like what you have done since the last time you saved, is only when you can actually leave without saving. That's when that makes sense. So I'm going to the home page and I just want to quickly show you how to design a poster. Like I said, you can use professional already templates that are there already. And so what I just usually do is I come here and I can say prayer. And I say enter. So it will give me everything that has to do with prayer. Everything that has to do with prayer. So what I'm doing here now is I'm looking at the different things that have to do with prayer. And I look at the one I really like. I like this one. So I click on it. And then I customize the template. You can click anywhere on it, or you can click on the customize template and it will open up. So this is a video. Once you play it, you can hear it, but it's not like it's a video of too many things. It's just, this is it. It's just the same poster and all of that. It animates, not animates, it just motions a few of the things that are there. So I'm just going to pause that. If you want to change the piano, the instruments at the back end, there's a music sign on the topmost right. Then you click on this icon that says click here to change your audio. So you can click here and change it. And this basically is if you have something else that you want to do, you can click this one and, you know, just change it, upload yours. Hey, my God is good. So that's something you can actually pick. Or if you want to pick like music from another well-known artist like Ronke, you can actually just pick it from here, but you should have already downloaded her songs and on your system, and then you just pick it from there, preferably MP3. So from here, you just click on the wordings and then you can edit. So you click on here and this is what you do, Midnight Cry, and here you say Midnight Cry. So we want a midnight cry. First question is, what is the name of the pastor? You have all the details that you want, then you put it here. Pastor Mrs. Elizabeth. It's too big for here, so you have to resize. So you can use either the left or the right bars to resize to make it like that, but you might not be sure whether it's too much to the left or too much to the right. So what I usually do is I slowly move it, and you will be seeing as it shows you the lines that tell you when you are at the center. So do you see the blue line come up to tell you that you're at the center? So I see that this shows me I'm at the center, and then I stop there. So everything is sort of centered, but this is not Pastor Mrs. Elizabeth. So what I do is I click on him and I can delete. So I delete this because I do not want that person there. And then I bring in Pastor Mrs., the person who's going to be ministering. I have already put in her video, her picture here. So I just click on it and then add. In doing that, it brings her here. You usually can bring it in any side of the page. All you just need to do is to click on it and then put her where you want her to feature. You have her here, but you sort of want her to be more enlarged. So you can actually enlarge that by clicking on the different edges. And then you have something like this, pretty much. So it says online midnight cry. I think this is not midnight. It looks like midnight. Yeah, so that's midnight cry. And then you can put your handles here. What's our church? It's at COP TV. And then you put the phone number here if you want to be called. If you don't want to be called, or if there's no need for an RSVP, you do not need that here. And then you put in the timing, which is what you need to be sure about. Is it 11:55 p.m.? Is it midnight? And if you put a time there, always specify what time zone it is going to be. So when you do that, you leave that here, or you can expand this to be bigger and then size it in such a way where it's at the center of the one on top of it. That way it's well centered. And you pick the date that you want, the 4th or the 3rd. Since this is going to be on Thursday, you will notice that they had different handles for that. And pretty much the reason is because when you're in one window like this, you cannot make one brighter and the other one another thing. They all follow the same path. So you might find yourself, making different, sorry, I don't want to change the zoom. You might find yourself making different boxes to accommodate the different styles that you want in each of them. An example is like this midnight is different from cry. That's the different boxes. But let's assume I had like the same box. So like here I had 11:45. Though they're on the same line, right? I can't say I want to change EST alone from this color to this color. It's going to change everything. So in order for me to be able to have just something different from the top, if there's anything slightly different from it, what I do is I highlight it and then I duplicate. You can do, like I mentioned, the shortcut to duplicate is Ctrl+D. And then I have that. So I want the 11:55 to be different. So what I do is 11:55 p.m. is here, and then the EST is on a different pane. Once you do that, you then center it, whatever you want to do, and then you can then change what you wanted to change before. Maybe you wanted one to be white, another one to be gradient, or anything. So pretty much you can do different things with what you have. You can put them side by side, then you can do another time zone, but because you want to specify time zones, you make them different color like CST, PST, and WAT. And that's pretty much it, and you're good to go. Poster is ready. We do not need this, rather because we said it's going to be Zoom live, what do we need? You need the Zoom link. You take this out, bring the Zoom here, you duplicate it, and then this is what you have. Because you can see that this is not really centered and you want it to be centered, you come here under the edit at the bottom, you see alignment. You can either make it left or justified or centered. So I'll just make it centered. And then you have your poster with all the information that you likely would need in there. If you decide, oh, okay, I want it to actually be a video, then play it on it. And that's it. You can adjust this if you want. Any questions? So that's a poster that you can do. And if you want, you can download it as an image. I usually just click on, this, and I can screenshot. Once I screenshot it, easily I can go to my WhatsApp, and then I'm good to go to just send it in my WhatsApp. Or I can send it to myself, which I usually try to do. Paste it in here, send it, and there you go. It's right there. Anyone can click on it on their WhatsApp, and they open it, and they're good to go. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully that helps, and that's it. You can also download it into JPEG or different types of formats. So that's basically how to make an easy video, a quick one, without having sleepless nights. Paula, is it all done?
I think my Zoom is outdated.
Oh yeah, you might need to update your version. Okay. That's okay. Does anyone have questions on posters or virtual backgrounds? Okay, so in the absence of any, have a wonderful rest of your week.